Lyndon Arthur has just beaten Liam Cameron via split decision. And yes, very good fight, to be fair. Very good, very entertaining fight overall. Fair play to Cameron. Gave a fantastic effort. Obviously, he was out for 5 years. He's, had 3 fights to get into the swing of things. Then he's had this fight and puts up a real good, solid account of himself. So big respect to Liam Cameron for a good fight there. Lyndon Arthur, in my opinion, was the well-deserved winner. I don't think it should have been a split decision. I also think that, but I also feel like that, like the 97-92 score kind of thing it was pretty wide though. I feel like it was closer. I scored it 95-93 to Lyndon Arthur. I think Arthur definitely won the fight. But a shocking performance though from Lyndon Arthur though. You can't be making a fight like that close. Like, I thought it was a good opportunity for Liam Cameron, but it was an event, but Lyndon Arthur should have been putting the guy out of there. Let's be honest. And, Lyndon Arthur never even came close to putting Liam Cameron out of there, apart from him knocking him down at the end of a round as soon as the bell rang. I think it was the end of the second round. So that ended up being a 10-8 Liam Cameron. So, yeah, that knockdown that Arthur had shouldn't have even been allowed. Could have even had more than 1 point taken off in there. But, yeah, at the end of the day, the guy's not the level that I think, he's been hyped up to be. Not at all. When's the last time he saw a good performance from Lyndon Arthur? I don't remember. I don't remember the last time he saw a good, solid Lyndon Arthur performance. Like, let's get his box rec up here. Let's go through some of his past fights and let's see if we can see, one of his last actual decent performances, because I do not remember. So let's have a look here. He beat Walter Gabriel Sequoia via 6th round stoppage out of 8 rounds. Like, no, that was. I remember that as well. Is not a good performance from Lyndon Arthur. Beat Joel McIntyre in the 2nd round. Of course, he's going to do that though. That wins nothing to really be too proud of. Beat Boris Crichton. That fight was an absolutely shocking fight. Lyndon should have got the guy out of there. Failed to do so. Then he fought Suarez, where he got dropped in that fight and was losing before the stoppage. So that one was pretty shocking there from Lyndon Arthur. Then he got absolutely humiliated against Bivol. Yes, that was expected, but in that fight, it's like Lyndon Arthur couldn't even be bothered there, if we're being honest. And then before all of that, he obviously had the Anthony Yarde fight where he was getting absolutely battered around the ring. And again, Arthur was shocking in that fight. Like, I feel like the last time we saw a half-decent performance from Lyndon Arthur, where he really dug deep and deserved to win, was probably in that Anthony Yarde first fight. And that was bloody back in 2020. So for 4 years, we have not seen a good performance from Lyndon Arthur. He's just been ridiculously sloppy. And today was the exact same thing. Lyndon literally can't throw different shots apart from the jab and that straight right hand. Apart from that, you barely see Lyndon Arthur throw some big hooks or anything like that. Like, he throws the odd hook to the body. That's about it. But, when he threw hooks to the body today, Cameron was catching those shots on his elbows anyway, though. So, it's not good enough from Lyndon Arthur. People say he's at a top level and he's a top-level fighter. I don't think he is. I think he's massively overhyped. And whenever he fights a real top guy, like we saw against Bivol and Anthony Yarde, when Anthony Yarde was fully on it in their second fight, Lyndon Arthur just looks completely out of his depth, completely in big fights. And when he fights people like Liam Cameron, he looks at that level. Like, he struggles to beat them. He has to, try and dig as deep as possible to win when he fights at that level. And Liam Cameron's only had 3 6-rounders ever since he's come back from a 5-year suspension. And that was all the way back in 2018. So, it's shocking stuff to see from Lyndon Arthur. A good performance, though, from Liam Cameron. Dug deep. I don't think he won the fight, but I thought Liam Cameron put up a good, solid account for himself today. Hopefully, for him as well, got a good paycheck after, boxing, treating him with that 5-year suspension, which was very harsh on Liam Cameron, especially from what we're seeing with other fighters who failed drug tests. They give him 1 or 2 years. 5 years for Cameron was way too much. So I feel bad for him for that. But still, you shouldn't be on the juice either way, though. But yeah, look. Talking about Lyndon Arthur though, if you look at if we look at Box Rack here and we go through some of this, like, let's be real. How many fighters at the top of this division does he actually beat? He doesn't really beat anyone. He's already lost to Bivol. He gets battered by Bertabiev. Benavides destroys Arthur. Boatsi would completely outbox Lyndon Arthur. Callum Smith would knock Lyndon Arthur out. Gobstick would knock Lyndon Arthur out. Jesse Hart would beat him. Anthony Yards already had him. Albert Ramirez, like Malik Zenad as well would, have a field day with Lyndon Arthur, in my opinion. Willie Hutchinson could be an interesting fight for Lyndon Arthur. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I actually feel like Willie Hutchinson would probably beat Lyndon Arthur as well. I feel like he'd be able to outbox him. I don't rate Lyndon at all. He hasn't really got a great shot selection. I mean, Lyndon, the big thing I like about his game is his jab. Like, I feel like that's Lyndon's only real half-decent attribute, is Lyndon Arthur's jab. That's it, really. He has a decent straight right hand as well, but his hooks are literally non-existent in fights. When he throws them, they don't exactly have much of an impact either. Like, again, someone like Dan Aziz could actually, be interesting for Arthur. And from what I saw from Dan Aziz this past weekend was absolutely shocking from him. And even with that kind of performance, he could probably beat Lyndon Arthur. I'm probably being a bit harsh on him here, but, at the top of the division, Lyndon Arthur does not belong up there at all. The guy's basically British level at best, if we're being honest with you. Lyndon's nowhere near world level. Nowhere near it. I mean, question is Liam Cameron even British level at the moment? Like, and Lyndon Arthur badly struggled against the guy. Like, as much as, it was a good story for Liam Cameron coming back, but Lyndon Arthur was shocking today, though, either way. Even though Cameron was digging as deep as possible to win. But I know Arthur, he just doesn't really look like he has too much hunger when he's in there, to be honest with you. I feel like that's a big problem with Lyndon Arthur. He doesn't really seem to have the hunger when he's in there. And I just feel like Arthur's a basic fighter as well. I feel like it can be easy to read from his feints, and I just feel like because Cameron was easily able to read him today, and we've seen that in his past fights as well. He's not hard. Lyndon Arthur is not difficult for any top fighter to really work out, in my opinion. He's not difficult for any top fighter at all. Literally everyone at the top of that division, the top 25 people in that light heavyweight division, I don't feel like will have much trouble being able to work Lyndon Arthur out. Fine, top 20, should we say? Top 15, should we say, to be a bit nicer. But yeah, they won't have any trouble working Lyndon Arthur out. But yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts. Shocking performance from Lyndon, but he definitely won the fight. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, King. I'll speak to you on a bit. Thanks for watching. Peace out.